Hey guys, IceWire here and welcome to another video. And today we are going to be talking about my favourite little purple scaly boy, Spyro. Now as you guys know, Spyro Reignited Trilogy is coming out next month. I am really excited for it. I plan on picking it up myself because Spyro was a big part of my childhood growing up. I loved that game so much. My favourite game was Year of the Dragon, and I just adored Spyro so much as a kid. Like, that's kind of where my fascination with like dragons began, was through the Spyro games. If you don't really know me that well, I love dragons. They're like my favourite mythological creature. I am Groot. Dragons are my favourite mythological creature, and it kind of stems from playing Spyro as a kid. So the reason I like Game of Thrones so much, the reason that I took an interest in Skyrim in the first place, why the Inheritance cycle is one of my favourite book series. It's because it's got dragons in it, and Spyro was the first dragon that I ever saw in media as a kid, so that's where that all comes from. So today I'm actually going to be doing something really fun. I have asked my patrons over on Patreon to sort of kind of collab with me on this. So I asked them what they're most excited about. And throughout this video, I'm going to be sharing what I'm excited about as well as what they are excited about. So it's going to be really fun. If you did put down your thoughts, thank you so much for it. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to do this with you guys. I love being able to include my viewers and things, so I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. And without further ado, or any more rambling from me about dragons, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm excited for, and in no particular order, is seeing my old childhood fave come back to life on a modern TV screen. Now, as we all know, Spyro back in the day, you know, it looked okay for graphics at its time, and yeah, he was just an adorable purple little dude. And now with the Reignited Trilogy, he looks great, and not just him. I'm also excited to see what all the other characters look like. We've seen what most of the dragons look like, and I'm curious to see what Hunter looks like, even though he did drive me insane, not gonna lie. Hunter got on my nerves quite a bit, and I did burn him a few times. I regret nothing. He was annoying. He was very annoying. I'm also excited for seeing a good old Mr. Moneybags, or as I like to call him, Fluffy EA in a fursuit. I don't know. Take your pick. I actually have seen the graphical changes of the OG Moneybags with the newer Moneybags, and the bear had a glow up. It's kind of disturbing, if I'm being completely honest. I have seen some things that people have said about Mr. Moneybags, and I would very much like to unsee those comments. I hate the internet. Along with that, one of my favourite characters from the Spyro franchise was Sheila, the kangaroo. And you find her in I think it's, the level is just straight out called Sheila's Alps or something in Year of the Dragon. And I remember that being like one of my favourite levels because I think you could play her in that level, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've touched a Spyro game. The last one was Year of the Dragonfly. No comment. But yeah, just seeing what not only Spyro but all of the other characters look like in this newer edition is something that I'm really excited about, and I just cannot wait to see them come back to life. For example, I just want to take this little scene here and just show off the animations, and this is what made me super excited.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on! I think I smell a barbecue.
Now the reason that I really like this is because just Spyro is so animated. He doesn't feel over the top. He was a bit over the top in the original games, to be fair. But I know that the voice actor for him has like sort of dialed him down to be like less of a dick. Spyro was a bit of a dick, I'm not gonna lie. But just how excitable he looks and just like how animated and like ready to go he is. That's something that I love. That's my boy. That's the little purple shit that I know and love. I'm very happy, to say the least, and that's one thing that I am very excited to see come to life in the game. Next up is one of the things my patrons said, and first up is Nicholas Montoya, and he said, "I'm curious on how they handle the controls. It is a 20-year-old game, so the controls would be outdated by today's platforming standards. A great example is the Crash remake. They changed the controls enough to make sense in the new era, but not enough to be a completely different game." And this I agree with a lot. The old Spyro gameplay mechanics wouldn't hold up in today's era of gaming at all. I think if a child picked up Spyro, like the original Spyro today, they would be aggravated with the controls. Just straight up, like, they would not want it. They would put down Spyro and go back to like Fortnite or whatever the kids are playing these days. And honestly, I don't blame them. If I was a child growing up in this day and age, 2018, I would want my controls to be, nice and smooth and easy to handle. And I think it's a good thing that Toys for Bob have, given the gameplay part of Spyro a well-needed makeover. I mean, they did build the game from the ground up, which is impressive, to say the least. But yeah, overall, I think that, the gameplay update was very much needed, and I can't wait to be able to play Spyro again on my PS4 and have like a smooth experience that's been modernized, and I can't wait to run around and like headbutt sheep and set multiple things on fire and all that stuff. It's gonna be great. Next up, and this is a bit of a small, minute detail, but it's a detail that I am excited for anyway, and it's only gonna be a short and quick one, and that is the idle animations. Now, I remember as a kid, whenever I like sat down to do something else while I was playing the game, because 5-year-olds were scatterbrained. They are scatterbrained. That's just the truth of it. And sometimes when I would put the controller down for a bit to do whatever, I would just sit there and just watch the screen, and Spyro would do these like cute little animations where he just like look around, and depending on like how you had the camera positioned, he would like turn around and look at you, and it was like super fucking cute. I am sorry, I'm gonna call Spyro adorable just like 90% of the time of this video and in future videos, because adorable! And I've seen footage of the idle animations now, and it looks great. It looks great. I'm gonna get it to play now if I can find the video for it. But it's just the cutest thing in the world. It's really cool. Like, something that I like in the game is just like idle animations. For example, Infamous Second Son. While that game has like had a mixed reception among gamers, I really love the idle animations of like Delson just sort of shifting on his feet and, I don't know, like adjusting his jacket and like sort of just rolling his arms a bit and that sort of thing. I love that in games. I adore that sort of shit. So seeing that part come back in Spyro is something that I'm really excited for. Next up, we have another patron comment, and this one is from Catgirl. So she said, "I'm really looking forward to what the graphics look like. In the trailers, they are super shiny. The old Spyro did well with the graphical limitations at the time to make really interesting, fantastical worlds. Just think what they can do now. I also hope it comes to PC really soon." And honestly, Kaz, I agree with you so much. I mean, like I said earlier, the old games, they did well for their time, but now, it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I was overseas when the reveal was announced, and I was sitting on my fiance's bed, and I was just chilling. We were watching YouTube videos on each of our laptops, and I found that, and I watched it, and I happy cried to the point where he stared at me, asking if I was okay. And I just kept squeeing, Holy Xe stopped working that day, and I regret nothing. The graphics look absolutely stunning now. I love the art style of Spyro so much. It's something that drew me to the game, as well as, you know, obvious dragons, because, you know, I'm just a big old sucker for dragons. Some of my favorite levels look absolutely beautiful now, and that's a point that I'm going to get into very soon, so stay tuned for that. But I want to wrap this up with saying that if you have a look at what the levels looked like before and compare them to how they look now, it is such a massive change. It's something that I think is needed for this day and age, and it looks so gorgeous. Toys for Bob put a lot of time and care into designing these worlds and bringing them to life for modern consoles, and I just cannot wait to be able to explore it myself and look around at all the nooks and crannies that I used to know as a kid and just sort of rediscover it. That's something that I'm looking forward to so much. Next up is actually going to be another Patreon comment, and this one is the final one. It is from Cosmoronic, and he said, I bought Into the Dragonfly once and played it a little bit, but somehow I felt too old for it. I'm glad to see people are excited for it, and I might pick it up once it falls in price. I think it'll sell well given the hype surrounding Spyro and his legacy, and of course because of the nostalgia value. There's also the whole Skylanders thing that started off with Spyro, so that might also bring in some players for the remastered trilogy. Now this is actually a super good point. With Spyro coming to life on a more modern day console, it's introducing a whole new generation to Spyro. I think if I was a mum and I wanted to introduce my child to any game at all, it would be Spyro. I've always said that Spyro is such a good game for children. And one day down the line, when I myself do have children, I would love to show them Spyro. Many of us when we were kids, when we got home from school, or like had sick days from school, we would sit our butts down and play Spyro. If, you know, we did play Spyro. I know I played way too much Spyro. No regrets. No regrets. Not even one letter. And we get that feeling of nostalgia looking back at it now. Like, oh, we had such a lovely time playing it as a kid, you know. It brought us a lot of joy. It was something that we looked forward to when we got home from school. And I think that introducing it to children now would be a really awesome thing to see. I can't wait to see it. I hope that kids enjoy this when it does release. I hope that parents show the kids these games and that they, you know, take an interest in it just as we did back in the day. Plus a lot of kids nowadays have been playing Skylanders, which, while I don't particularly like the franchise, I think that could be a cool gateway for kids that have played those games to be introduced to the OG Spyro, you know, the cool Spyro, the Spyro we love, the better Spyro, if you will. Finally, but not least, I am really looking forward to playing my favorite levels again. Now, one of my favorite levels was from Year of the Dragon. As you can tell, Year of the Dragon was my preferred favorite, if you will, and one of the levels that I loved to bits was the it looked like a Roman Colosseum level, and there was a giant chicken just walking around for funsies, and there was a skateboarding minigame. I mean, minigames coming back in itself is another reason to be excited, but the skateboarding one. Also, this level here in particular is another level that I really enjoyed as a kid. It was one of my preferred areas to explore as a child, and I enjoyed just exploring the snowy region a lot, even though the Yetis did scare the crap out of me. I remember one time when I played this level, there was a big fella, a big Yeti, and he roars at you, and I remember crying because I had to pause the game and just like have a wee cry because I got scared, and then I came back and just like kept exploring, but like gave him a bit of a wide berth until I felt ready to take him on. Just seeing my favorite levels come back to life, like for example the Sheila Alps level, I just cannot wait. It's gonna be so fun. And just seeing how like they've improved from the previous version is going to be something interesting to see as well. Anyway, that is it for this video. Those are all of the reasons why I'm excited for Spyro that I can think of right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a bunch. I needed, I'm serious, I needed to just nerd out about Spyro for a moment in time on this channel, so thank you so much for watching. If you are excited for Spyro as well, let me know down in those comments below. What about Spyro are you excited for? Are you excited to try it out if you have never played it before? Are you excited to revisit it if you have? What in particular excites you the most? Just let me know your thoughts down in those comments below, and I'd love to hear them. If you like this, please do give it a big old thumbs up. It helps my channel a bunch. And if you're new here and you think perhaps my channel's your cup of tea and you want to see all the other stuff that I do along with some cool Spyro things in the future, consider subscribing. Consider supporting me on Patreon, as it feels to grow for my content's quality and the variety and production of said content that you guys get to see all here on the channel. And of course, a massive thank you to my current patrons. They are Cosmoronic, Nicholas Montoya, Caroline Richardson, and Cooladora. And if you want to see your name shouted out at the end of the video like these guys, do hop over onto Patreon and have a look around at the cool rewards on offer. Anyway, it's IceWire signing off, and I'll see you introverts later next time on the channel. Have a lovely day / night wherever you are in the world. Bye!